What's good everyone, welcome! I hope you enjoyed the gameplay of Xaku Prime against Level Cap with this new build. Why it's a new build? Because previously in Warframe, we did take Xaku Prime to Level Cap with Quiver build. Very comfortable, some liked it, some didn't, but as you know and I promised you, every time I take a Warframe to Level Cap with the Helmet ability, the next build will be different Helmet ability. Now it happened that in the update Valis Undermined, Xaku Prime received a new augment that we're gonna take a look at today, and the reason we're making the build. Also, Oberon got a rework, the build for the Level Cap in the channel already, the new one, and I decided to take Oberon Helmet ability Smite, equip it on Xaku Prime instead of his third ability, and since I use it mainly for armor stripping, and I got a really powerful combination, and let me show you. And we start the show as always with beginner's friendly approach, explaining Xaku kit in a very easy way for the Thanos that are trying to learn about him. His passive, 25% damage reduction on AoE attacks and chance to avoid incoming weapon damage. It's really nice. Passive, it could be a bit better, but it's okay. Now, Zata Whisper, wield void damage for all attacks from equipped weapons when activated. Really easy to understand. The more strength you have, the more extra damage you get on the void attacks. Also, the void attacks from Zata Whisper will create a bubble around that target that will go directly to his head. Now, Grasp of Lock. Void Tendrils, steal weapon from nearby enemies to use as your own floating auto targeting armaments. This ability is known for its power not only because you take weapons and it's based on ability range for how many targets you can take their weapons away, but the secret and the power of this ability and why we don't take her off as for other helmets, because it scales with enemy level. This ability alone can take down Level Cap by itself, so that's why we don't take her away. So it got an augment called the Vampiric Grasp. When a stolen weapon deals damage to an enemy affected by the Lost Gaze or the Vast in time, Xaku heals by 25. Now we already know, like, heals and all that, it doesn't work in Warframe. HP, armor, whatever, we don't care about that until DE works the Warframe EHP to scale with enemies level. Then we can talk about health tanking and all that kind of stuff. Now, the Lost. The Lost is one of the most powerful abilities he has, but it is designed for, let's say, camping style, which is awesome. Okay, and that's why for in the previous video of Xaku Prime against Level Cap, I took off Zata Whisper to keep the Lost. Why? Because it was a camping style. So Quiver was to make you invisible, and the Lost to target the targets to create the effect. So what it does, when you accuse those enemies, when you take one target and you hit accuse, okay, enemies will start attacking each others. Now, when you hit the enemy with Gaze, you're gonna make all the enemies and around him armor stripped, and that's really good because that armor stripping these guys makes it really good. Now, Deny, annihilate with a beam of void energy, whipping sentient resistance. It's really good, and the whole kit I use mainly Gaze and the Accuse. That's the two I use most of the time. So enemies start attacking each other and their armor stripped, so Grasp of Lock can just like take them off. Now, got an augment called the Relentless Lost. The Lost gain 25% ability strength and 15% ability efficiency when cast. The effect stacks up to 3 times. Casting the same ability back to back resets the effect. It's nice, but really I couldn't find a spot for this one. Now, the Vast in Time, and this is the reason we're making a video today. Now, the Vast in Time, you're going to take out the shell and you become a skeleton form with increase of dodge chance, and you gonna be faster. It gives you more, like, you run faster. Now, if we read the ability here, temporarily shred the outer piece of Xaku and destructive blast, then stalk the battlefield in a newer, swifter skeleton form. Enemies damaged by the body sharpened are rendered weaker to void damage. Xaku other active abilities duration frozen in time and resumes once the Vast in Time expires. Now, the Vast in Time, this is the new augment, and this is why we're making the build. Creates a rift that connects to enemies suffering from void statue effect within 15 meters, doubling the buffs applied by the Vast in Time and maintain void statues. And if you know anything about the void, it actually deals increased damage to Overguard and Zariman Void Manifestation. Now, the void statues, in the other hand, not the damage, the void statues effect it works like a bullet attractor, which creates a small 2.5 radius field centered where the target was shot for 3 seconds. And pressing the void on the target head creates the bullet attractor field concentrated to their head, which leading to headshot multipliers. And the pressing on their feet centers the field on their feet. Hit scan bullets and projectiles that are not shot into the field will be redirected towards the target. That's based on wiki. So we will see together this Untime Rift. Is it good and worth it or not? Let's go for the build now. And as always, before I build my weapons and warframes, I rely on my method called DVS. D, how I be dealing damage. Xaku's second ability in his weapon. V, how I proc viral from his weapon modded for viral. S, for stripping enemies armor, will be from the third ability, Smite. An overguard will be taken out immediately. But if you don't like my methods, check the sheet, will help you maneuver around them to find your own, let's say, play style. Why we take things to level cap? Not as a show off, because enemies scale on their EHP. The higher level enemies, the more health they have, the more shield, the more overguard. Also, enemies get an increase of their damage output. That's why second ability of Xaku, when it takes their weapon, it deals more damage. So we test the, let's say, the build sort of ability at enemies prime. Simple as that. Now, next thing you need to learn before we proceed any further, shield gating. Warframe not like any other game. When you receive a fatal blow, you don't die. You lose your shield, you become in a gate phase. In a gate phase means you become invulnerable for a certain duration based on how much shields you have. Simple as that. So the idea of shield gating is getting back your shields before the gate finish, so you don't get hit on your HP and you die. How to do that? With abilities or certain mods and so on. Now, when we go for the build, we're gonna use this Archon Shards. This health pickups gives 20 energy, energy pickups gives 20% health, and the same here but Tau first. Here we got ability strength, Tau first, and here we got casting speed. Okay, now the build we're gonna be using is, now this is the one we did before. Quiver, done, out of the way. Now, next build, 9999-2. Now, brief respite. On ability cast, this is how we shield gate. When you cast an ability, squad converts 150% of energy spent to shields while overguard are inactive. Simple as that. So every time you get a blow, use any abilities, you get back your shields, react, you're good to go. Prime sure-footed, so we don't get knocked down. It is really, really, really important. But since a lot of Thanos can't have prime sure-footed because it's locked behind a login reward, my favorite is hand spring. Simple as that. If you can fit in there, you're good to go. Or use whatever you want. But if you're going for low to mid game, just take it off. You don't need it. Or just use Unairu Fox School and you'll be good to go. You don't need premature footed. Overextend for ability range, ability strength, negative ability strength, ability range, ability blind rage for strength and minus efficiency, equilibrium for health pickup, give energy, so you don't run out of energy. Running out of energy in Xaku is a suicide. Umbral intensify for ability strength, rolling guard for bad situations like surrounded by Thraxes, nullifiers, get knocked out with Kuva Tarkunyar. There is a lot of, let's say, moments where you will need it. Especially at level cap, you find yourself, let's say, in a situation where you're hitting a Thrax and behind you there is a Iximus shock Iximus that rolling the shocks and taking off your shield like this. You can't even shield gate. Rolling guard will take you out of the situation. But you can take it off if you're comfortable and you want to challenge yourself. Primed flow for energy max. Untime Rift is the augment. The primed continuity for duration. Arcane energized and arcane molt augmented. Now molt augmented is optional here if you want to go for it or not. That's totally up to you. Or use any augment you want. Whatever you decide. Up to you. Now, as I said, we're going to be using Smite. Smite technically will one-shot level cap, will armor strip level cap, we will remove all the armor from level cap. It doesn't have any problem. Let's hop in Simulacrum to show you this build. Here we go, and we're going to summon level 230 heavy corrupted gunners, but some Thanos asking me to summon the Dirakmanik Bombard. I get a lot of requests summoning this guy, so I'm just gonna summon this guy and whatever. Alright, so the idea is simple as this. When you cast the fourth ability, you're gonna see this gate right here. You see, this is the new stuff. And then we're gonna cast the second ability. Now we're gonna start attacking them. Now if we cast the first ability, which is our Zata Whisper, so our weapon is more like hitting Void. Now when I hit, you're gonna see this link. You see this link? And it goes to all enemies. No matter how many enemies, it's just gonna keep connecting to all of them. What it does is simply Think about it like this. You create a Void Rift, which tethers to enemies affected by the Void statue effect, pausing the duration of the statue effect as long as they are within range, while also doubling the Void damage vulnerability and slow effect from Vest of Time. So you're going to keep them locked in with those, let's say, Void damage Void status, and doubling the damage vulnerability from that Void damage. It is good, it is awesome, but it has one problem. The first problem is I hoped maybe it would link enemies' damage. For example, if I'm shooting one guy that linked to it, it will start hitting the other. It is right, let's say, low offensive, and it is for camping. I tell you what, guys, this right here, it is made for camping. So would I use it in my builds? I don't think so. It is really good, it's really awesome, and this is totally a build for Xaku, right? But what I would do is actually maybe I just take it off, and I would just like put something else here more useful, maybe more range, fix my efficiency. Maybe I put Overguard, Prime Redirection in here, and Arcane Aegis in here for more survivability, or Catalyzing Shields. I don't know, but I don't feel it's worth it unless you plan on camping, or I don't know. Just like, that's my honest opinion about it. But in any way, guys, you got yourselves a new build with Xaku. How this build actually works, let's summon those guys that you guys like lately and asking me to make videos always about them. Drikar, Manic, Bombard, because they had the high EHP. So if you take a look, boom, armor strip. Look at that, because they had a high health, these guys. You said, guys, 230. Manic Bombard has higher, like, EHP than level cap or similar or whatever. It's really crazy. Look at that. Like, we're just like hitting them and armor stripping them with our smite. Okay, so for Thraxis, it works really good as well. There we go, Thrax Centurions. And look at this. Boom. Stripped. Overguard out. It strips totally, like, because Thraxis has a lot of HP and it's really good. Like, it works really good on them. Look at that, creating the field, right? Like, boom, boom, and it starts to link to these guys. Look at that. Really good stuff, guys, seriously. And it keeps the Void statues in there, and you're good to go. So Smite is really powerful now, and I'm gonna be using it more in my future builds. And by this we reach the end. I hope you find this video helpful, and this is a different style Xaku Prime build. It's a bit harder to play than the previous one with Quiver, but as I said, I'm working on a project to take every Warframe and every weapon to level cap, and every Warframe I take with a helmet ability, the next time I take it, it will be with different helmet ability, to make sure to take all the Warframes with all the good helmet ability. It's a big project, takes a lot of time, but I'm working on it. Believe on the content channel. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below what you think. Join my Discord, follow me on Twitch, follow me on TikTok and Instagram. Thank you so much to the whole of members, especially VIPs and disputed donators and whole of donations and everyone in my community. And I'll see you guys next time.